Hello guys. I've got a shirt on today. Why is that not? Oh, here we go, yeah. Let me just make sure I've got audio. That's right. Good. Okay, so right, slightly different view. I've got a little camera here, not such good quality because I'm not the important one. This one is the important camera. I'm also not going to be shouting because Alfie's in bed. So 5x5. So if my volume, hopefully my volume looks like it's okay. If there's any problems, let me know. I can't turn it up anymore, but I can bring the mic closer. Graham, you may have to turn the volume up. I can't actually turn up my volume anymore, but I'm kind of it's that's alright. Yeah, I'm glad you got the screws. Okay, so is my voice okay, everyone? I know that Graham's saying it's a bit quiet, but he might have his volume down. Okay, right, yeah. Hang on. It's gonna go bonk. Is that better? Is that any better, everyone? Because I bought the mic here. In fact, if I come a bit closer, you can see the bloody thing. Right, okay, yeah, there we go. Right, well, this one's up to you lot. It's completely up to you. I've got the white case is my Amiga. The black case, which you can't see obviously, is the Mystics. If you want me to show you something, I can also switch. If you, I haven't got the, excuse me, I haven't got the Amiga connected up to date, so I'm not doing any of that. I have got the Mister connected, but my main Mystics is over there. So this is down to you lot. Questions. It's a question and answer session before the end. Just so you all know, we are at the moment. It's gone down. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Oh, back up again. It's 55,759 at the moment, which is fantastic. I am, as I said before, I'm trying to reach 75 if I can, because it's a nice number of cases because of manufacturing the cardboard boxes, and that's the only reason I'm trying to get to 75. Now I can't expect, we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. But usually on the last day, there's a little bit of a spike. So, right. As I said, it's up to you. Ask me some questions. If you want me to talk about something, I'm just going to go through it just to see if there are any. It helps if you put the word question at the front, just because when I scan down I see it, but I will try and read all of them because I haven't really got much else to do. So this is all about you, what you want to hear. So let's go from there. Let's have a look. So smooth, you're speaking in that stream. Hello, yep, sweet, sounds good, yep, 5 C's quiet, thanks. Replacements, can you turn one hours? Okay, yeah, well, thumbs up, sounds great. For the enemy, right, okay, will the SD card slot be exposed on the outside? I'll answer that this way. Okay, by default, the SD card will sit inside on the motherboard. Okay, now I know this falls under one of those. Why can't you include it? But I've included so much. I just can't do everything. These things cost about £6, and you just plug that in, and that'll go to the back. What I will have is a way of mounting these, a plate that will mount this thing in the back, and so you can have it at the back. At the back, I'm really still not. Unless you want to make a plate for the front, and then you can push them in and out. That's fine. But I'm just I want it all at the back at the moment. That's just how I feel. But I know it seems like cheapskating, but these are £7-8, something like that. I can't include it with every single one. I just can't do it. I might do them for like a tenner with a mounting plate. I don't know yet. But the answer is yes. You can buy these and put these in quite cheaply. And that goes the same with the Mystics, because the Mystics has it inside as well, and you'll be able to do exactly the same thing. Your view on best emulator as real hardware is impossible to get. Oh, that's a really tricky one, because I love emulation. The thing about, I like both. FPGA gives you the beautiful smooth look. I don't know if this is picking up very well, but what I'm seeing here is so ridiculously smooth on these two FPGA machines. But you don't get the performance. You know, you sacrifice performance for smoothness, whereas the emulation, you sacrifice smoothness for speed. So it's maybe one day they'll solve the speed issue. But you know, don't get me wrong, they're not bad, but I've never seen them as smooth as this. And so it depends what you want. Now, get back to the question, what's the best emulator? I really like the Pi 4. I know it's not as fast as your PC. I know it's not as fast as your Mac. I've got a little laptop thing coming, which is what this is waiting for. I'll do a video on that at some point. I like the Pi 4. My absolute favourite, and it's not the fastest, but is Amiberry, the new Amiberry that Dimitri did for me, which everyone gets now. It's not just for me. The latest version, because it does all the AMI hybrid, whether you use it or not. The performance is great. The audio is fantastic. He's actually taken so much out of WinUEE now that you get most of the benefits of WinUEE on Amiberry, which is on the Raspberry Pi 4. And if you run it on the 4, I mean, it's amazing. It's 1,000 MIPS. It's 220 times the speed of a 3000. It's ridiculous. So I absolutely love it. No, you see, right, Exit Music 2011. That's just not a fair question. Look, I've got 4 of them, but you notice, right? Maybe this will tell you, right? Okay, I'm going to answer this question because I think this is the best way of putting this. In that pile over there, which you can see, you probably can't see it too well. Let me just turn this around a bit. Okay. If you can see, it's dark. You can't really see it, but there's four minis over there. 3 black, 1 white. In the black ones that aren't set up is the Raspberry Pi and my PC, which is a pretty damn good PC. It's a Ryzen 3 3400G. It's a pretty damn good one, water cooled, everything, but it's not being used. In the black case is the Mystics, which is the D10 Nano, which is brilliant. I mean, yeah. In the white case is the Amiga. Why would I put the Amiga in the white case? If I was going to pick the Amiga, yeah, but I'm lucky. I've got all 4. I have to because of what I'm doing. If I had to pick one, there are sacrifices you have to make with the Amiga. Although there's a serial network that's possible, it's tricky to set up, but it's possible, and there's online documentation on how to do it. It's serial speed. I mean, really slow, like 38 kilobytes per second. It's slow, but I just really like it. It's cheaper than the Mystics, but the Mystics will run everything else. Only you can decide. It's a real difficult one. Christ, there's loads here. So I can't make that decision for you. I can't. Sorry. But if you ask me, an Amiga. Okay. The back is fine by me, just so it's sturdy. Yeah. That's to do with these things. Yeah. I agree. Mine's kind of doing that at the moment because I haven't made the rear panels for it. But I will be doing panels and plates and stuff, and it'll be some kind of screw attachment that you screw it in place. It'll be good, don't worry. I think I heard you mention, it's top secret that you heard you mention that you will be selling pre-configured machines. Yes, yeah. I've got a bunch of licenses. I bought a load of Amiga Forever packs. I got 90 of them. I bought 3.1.4 licenses. I've got 90 of them. Hang on, don't panic. It's just my camera. It turns off after half hour, and I have to turn it back on again. Oh no, it's finished. Hang on. Right, where was we? Pre-configured machines. Yes, I will be. Once the case is done, this is only really for the backers to start with, and I don't know whether I'll do it going forward. I mean, you'll always be able to buy the parts, but whether I just don't know. It's so much work building these machines. You have no idea. But yes, I will be building pre-configured machines. You will, if I build it, you're going to pay more for it. There's no, you're going to pay. It's going to cost you money, but not ridiculous. But you're going to end up paying for it. So, but the answer is yes. I've got licenses. There'll be DVD packs, whatever the software that you get with the pack. I'll be supplying it cost price. It might not look it, but I'm calculating it at cost price. You may even see a license pack. It's like. It will be cost price. I'm not trying to make any money out of the software because I'm trying to keep that down. I'm making money on the hardware. I'm not, that's the job. So I hope that answers the question. The answer is yes. Yeah, it is an option. Yeah, you buy the case on its own. You buy the bits. I think for the backers, I won't be charging for fitting the bits. Afterwards there may be a fitting charge. I really don't know yet, but it's really aimed at backers to start with. Okay. Yeah, it's very true. Lucas, he's absolutely right. How much you want to spend? I mean, as I said, I'm not gonna be fleecing people. I am going to be making a profit because that's the only way I've got this new one. Because I spent $4,000 on the packaging and everything. Employing someone and paying. I spent more than $4,000. I spent $5,000 at least on prototyping costs from the last batch. So to make the new ones, and so that's why when you first saw it, instantly there was a nice packaging, but that was funded. And I do. That's how I work. Is I make money out of this and I'll fund the next thing. Yeah, I mean that's Lucas. That's not a bad point. I mean, I whenever I've tried to run emulation, I've never got it. I've never got graphics moving as smoothly as this. Never. Now, people out there said, "Oh, well, I'm sure you can," but I've never seen it as smooth. And even Dimitri admits it. That it can't be as good as FPGA because it's not the real thing. But you do have that massive performance. But the problem is that most people, if you're playing a game, you probably don't care. You probably won't even care. But bearing in mind, the cheapest option of a complete build is the Pi version, which is going to be £100 cheaper than the Amiga, which is £150 cheaper than the Mystics. It's just it's just what it is. Hang on. Right. Adrian says, what's the ETA for the Mystics first orders, please? And when will Amiga Hybrid pre-build be available? All of this, the Mystics, it's really aimed. Remember, this is not my day job, okay? It's all planning to ship with the cases, okay? After that, yes, separate them. But initially, it's going to be for the building the cases. The backers are the most important people for me at the moment. I know it sounds like a gittish thing to say, but that's I have to. If this was my day job, it wouldn't be a problem. I could just ship them out, and I just make sure that the backers have got them. But I can't because it's too much work. David says, have you tried WinUE with lagless VSync setting? No. It could be just something I'm not aware of. I reckon you would get perfect smoothness on your PC. Right, okay. It's something I will try, okay? Because I know that Dimitri wants to do that. Now, I like FPGA for what it stands for, but likewise, I love emulation. I'm not one of these people who hates emulation. I'm looking at there, I should be looking here. I do like emulation as well. I think it's just amazing. So, you know, if you can get lagless, perfect display, great. I may actually, David, right? Can you send me the link to the document so I can try? I don't think it's on Amiberry, but I will try it on WinUE and I'll see what it comes out. And if it comes out, it's completely smooth. I will tell people before they order an FPGA, because don't forget you have got that massive speed increase with the Pi, and I know Dimitri's looking at trying to make it as good as FPGA. The sound is great, but the thing with the FPGA, it's just like the real hardware. It literally is. That's why I love an Amiga. It's not as quick, and the RTG is brilliant, but it's not quite as good as the Mystics. The RTG on that is fantastic. I'd put it almost on par with the Vampire. I know people would be upset with that, but it is almost on par with the Vampire. It's just the processing speed so much slower. I want an Amiga, so it's FPGA for me. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, I really do. I mean, I own all of them, and you know. But look, I can't put this any clearer. I picked the white case on purpose for an Amiga. It's not the quickest. In fact, out of all the systems, it's the slowest. Right? It is the slowest. I just really like it. I love the other thing, PS2 keyboard and mouse, lagless. Yeah, lagless. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Owned Amiga forever since inception while using authentic Amiga 500. Yeah, why not? I mean, to be honest, you'll get a license for Amiga forever with this. So if you've got an Amiga, you'll probably want to put it on your PC so that you can take the disc out, mount it, and do any changes, take it out, put it back in. It's quicker. I hope you don't just have one wall electrical socket in that room. No, of course not. I've got two. No, I got one there. I got a double there, double there, double there. Double there. There's a fair number, but there, you know, this stuff doesn't take much power. That's probably 100 watts. It's nothing. Well, this one's a bit more, but since using sorry for peepos. Yeah, I'd already had my eye on getting the Mister for about 6 months before the Kickstart. So when this came up with the Mystics option, I sold. Look. This is a really difficult one for me, because on the one hand, if I use my brain, the Mister is the best, hands above. It's the best, absolutely the best. Okay, from the FPGA, it is more expensive. Nothing I can do about it. You can build your own. It's not much cheaper, and you still got to fit it. But it's hard to put into words. And it's not because I have a problem with Linux or the control of the way it works. No, not at all. I think it's fantastic, right? It's just something magical about the Amiga. You kind of plug it in. It's got most of the ports you're used to. It's not as quick, but it is smooth. Runs nice. It's got RTG, so it runs nice. It's a bit of a pain in the ass compared to the Mystics, getting stuff on it. You know, but it's nice. I like it. But if you want FPGA and you want the best one, the Mystics is the way. The Mister is definitely the best of the FPGA, no doubt about it. Absolutely. And you get all these extra cores, and you can just I map my FTP into it and just chuck everything onto it. It's awesome. Absolutely fantastic. If you've got the extra 150 quid, do that one. Question. Which board is faster? Oh, there's 4 of them. Well, no, there's not. I'm not selling a PC at all. I'm not interested. The 3 I'll be selling will be the Amiga, which is the slowest. It's about twice the speed, 2.2 times the speed of a 3000 with AGA, with RTG. The Mister is about, or Mystics is about 25. Where is it? No, about 30% faster than the Amiga. And it's more expensive. So the Amiga is say 250 with everything. Okay, well, not the case, but at the board, the software and everything, you know, ready to put into a system. The Mystics complete set is 400 quid, give or take a few quid. But the Pi version is £149 with everything, and it's 100 and 200 times faster. No, yeah, 100 times faster than both of them. It wipes the floor with them. It's just, you know, unless this lag-free thing works, it's not quite smooth. But it is emulation, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, it is emulation. Whereas these are literally like having an Amiga. See, that's the other thing. The Mystics kind of breaks you out of that it's an Amiga. Now I'm looking into making it so that it'll boot straight into the Amiga, and apparently you can do that. Boot, comes up, mini-mig, wallop. But the un-Amiga, I'm setting it up. Literally boot, spinning ball, bang, there's your Amiga, okay? Straight into it, there's nothing else, right? There's no other support, there's no USB, there's no nothing. So it really is like an Amiga. But the Mystics, most people will just leave it so you just load mini-mig, because you've got all these other hundreds of cores. Dr. Joey, hang on, so I'm just trying to. Okay, David. Oh no, you're talking to someone else. The Pi is the fastest. It wipes the floor. It's the cheapest. It's the best for getting smoothness and accuracy of the chipset. Okay. It's the best of the lot, and it's the cheapest. If you like emulation, you won't go wrong with it. I spent a lot of time doing it. A lot. I've spent a lot of time developing this thing. Yeah, you know, we're using our little ATX board. We've got this board we bought in from China from a company called GeekPi. I'll be putting one of these. Well, I'm hoping I'm putting a nice tower on it. I've actually got to check the pricing on it first. But that just plops in, and it's £149 with all your licenses, with your Amiga Forever, with Amiga XE, everything for £149. Now you can build it yourself. I will sell the frame, this and this little board separately for 79. I think it's 69 £69 I think it is. No software, okay, but it'll all be on the site. But this is the fastest. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's bloody awesome, absolutely awesome. But do you know the easiest way of checking this? Go and buy a Raspberry Pi, set it up, and then you'll see if you like it or not before you invest. That's the simple way of doing it. The Pi is only 35 quid, and you don't need more than 2 gig. Right? People say you need more than 2 gig. You don't. It's half a gig of RAM for the Amiga. Yeah, hubrising. You know, yeah, that's spot on. Yeah, no, you got that. That's good. That kind of puts it into words for people. If you want to run WinUE, run WinUE. It's not a problem. I mean, I've got that one over there. I've got Amiga XE on that, and it's run on a 1080 GTX 1080. Right, Joe. Question: how long after the Kickstart will we have to decide on the board options? This a good point. Probably a couple of months at least, 2 or 3 months at least. I will want to know people's ideas, what they're thinking, because obviously I've got to order them. I have an idea. It's going to be probably 100 of each. So it won't be too bad, but of course there'll come a point where I'll say, no, I need you to start getting these orders in for them so I can order, because obviously it's a lot of money to pay out if no one buys one. It does seem probably going to be split evenly between the Amiga and the Mystics. I think they're going to be pretty popular. Yeah, certain people going for Amiga. Oh, it's finished, is it? Let's put something else on. Right, I'll tell you what. you might as well just look at the backdrop. It's just lovely RTG, and don't forget the Amiga does very similar RTG, just not the Mystics will do up to 32-bit, 24-bit to 32-bit desktop, whereas the Amiga is 15-bit, 1.5, so it's 32,000 colours, but it still looks great. But with the Amiga, I run it in 256 mode because that's fast and it's snappy, whereas on the Mystics, the RTG is snappy at 16-bit. So it makes a difference. That's why I'm saying the RTG is better on the Mystics than it is on the Amiga. Just bear that in mind. I mean, I've got videos showing this, so hopefully you can pick it up from there. Yeah, the question was about how long. It's hard to say, but I mean, you know, fairly soon afterwards, because the designs are done. We've nailed what we want on them. The final prototypes are being made, and Edu's really quick. We actually we did actually have another prototype board of the Amiga. Sorry, of the Mystics, but there was a problem with it, and it didn't work, and he's had to order another one to fix it. It's a minor thing. So we'll be another week or two before the final version arrives. But then they're pretty much done. So it's just then a case of when I'm happy to send, because it's going to cost a lot of money. I need to be sure I'm getting the money in. We can sort that out. But again, probably going to be selling out with the cases. And the other thing is, I'm not making any promises at all, but there's a good chance we're going to be early with these cases because I've got nothing to do. The front panel is designed. I've got to tweak the little fix on it to adjust a little bit on the model, and then it's going off, and the production will be made. They'll be started. Yeah, the cases, the metalwork will take 3 months, and I've got to get another prototype made. So probably hoping in 4 months we might have them, then I can start shipping. But again, official date, I start shipping in July. Okay. That's the official date, but I'm hoping to ship them out earlier because I want to get them all out so I can get another batch in. What is the watt requirements for the PSU on the Mystics and Amiga boards? Next to nothing. Right, this is where it becomes quite funny, right? Because the case is designed for an SFX power supply. So I'm trying to source a 250 watt one. It's pretty much as low as you really want to go, and that will run anything. It will obviously, and it also will run a PC if you want to, but only one, for example, has got a Ryzen 3400, like one of the 65 watt TDP parts. Not, you can't put a discrete GPU in it anyway, so 250 watts should be fine. But it means, I think you're probably going to draw 10, 20 watts or something like that for the Amiga's next to nothing. It's cold. Probably 2 amps is enough on the 5-volt line. The Mystics probably draws 4, 5 amps on the 5-volt line. Doesn't use a 12-volt, I don't think. But if you then put in SSD drives, that kind of thing with a USB, or even if you manage to get like a DVD drive working, you need 12 volts. So you've got that on there. The power supplies are overkill, but they're not going to be that expensive. They are going to be more expensive than one that plugs in the back, but they look stupid. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you've got no switch on the. Oh, you want the switch on the front. It's a little thing, but it's kind of important. Yeah, there's a lot of people. A lot of people are going towards the Amiga. And look, you know, it's really difficult because I'm very enthusiastic, but don't forget, I have no reason to prefer one over the other, because Edu makes both. Okay, so Edu's making. I'm making sure that Edu's making money. We're making making money on both. And the Amiga's a pain in the arse at times. I'm not going to lie about that. It's because when you want to update the software, you can't just put a floppy in it, or you can't put a USB memory stick into it. You can't do that. It's just not possible. If you can set the networking up, you can do networking. It's bloody slow. The way to do it is you take the card out, you put it in your PC, and load it into WinUEE, and then you update the drive that way. Okay, and that's how you do it. Take it out, put it back in the Mystics. Whereas with the Mister, you can update it from just FTP. If you need a file, chuck it over. It's really easy. You know, you've got high-speed networking. You can transfer, you know, a gigabyte of data in a couple of minutes. Yeah, but you can. It's fast. It's Wi-Fi speed. It's normal gigabit networking. So it is better for that way. It is faster, but for me it breaks that. You know, it's not about speed, right? It's not about speed. I always play on the Amiga. When my little boy comes in, we always play on that. We play games on that. Now he likes to have both going at the same time. You can't tell the difference when you're playing games between the two. Between those, you can't tell the difference. You can tell the RTG on the Mystics is better, but it's fine on the Amiga. There's nothing wrong with it. It works nicely, especially in 256 code mode. It's nice and snappy. It's more Amiga-ish. That's all I can say. But please, it's your choice. Okay, so Exit Music 2011. Yeah, so this has been asked for. Yes. Does it have a Pi4 mounting? That is a Pi4 mounting kit. Okay. Hopefully it's focused in. Okay, it should be on a. That is a Pi4 mounting kit. Right. This is our ATX adapter board, and what you do is you plug the ATX power, the SFX power supply into there. There's a couple of leads come off to a switch on the front, and then that powers, this board, which in turn powers the Pi, and all the ports move out the back, and you see they're all rotated and full size HDMI. We've kind of got everything in there. Look, it's really nice the way it's all put together, and the whole thing just screws down into the mini ITX frame. That's what that's for. That's why it's quite expensive, because the Pi is 35 quid, but the whole thing with all the software is 149. So you kind of think, well, hang on a second, but you've got these extra circuit boards, load of software, metalwork, screws. It's a big kit to actually get it in there. It is worth it when it's in there. It's really, really good. So, and I'm hoping to do the Icicle Tower. I really am. I've got to double check on that, but you'll get some kind of fan on there. But I want to put the Ice Tower in because it looks cool and it lights up. Now on the LEDs, obviously the power switch works. But very important to understand, and I will make this bloody clear. It's a hard power switch. When you press it on, it comes on. When you press it off, bang, power goes. Just kills the power. That's not good on Linux, okay? And I haven't as yet been able to get a reliable shutdown, because we're not using. It is technically possible on one of the pins to do this with Raspberry Pi OS. We're not using that, so it will be something that probably maybe evolves over time as far as the soft power. Because ideally I want a soft power switch, but you have to shut it down first, then do it. Now, the power LED works. The drive access light is not quite. I kind of thought I had it done, but it's not quite there yet. So it's not perfect. Your power light comes on, but the access light technically works. It works on Pi OS, but on Manjaro, which we're using to get the speed, we haven't got it working yet. To be fair, because I've kind of backed off and got onto the other things. So bear that in mind. But it's still, the light comes on, so it's good. David, I've spoken to Dimitri and he seemed open to possibly implementing lagless VSync. Yeah, he's already said this. Yeah, I'll have a look at the lagless thing, and I will make it clear to people if that's the way. I'll tell people. I will tell everyone, and it may be the case of, you'd have to put a PC in for WinUE, and what do you want a PC in there for? Dimitri's always said he will try and make it lagless because he knows about it, and then there's no reason to go FPGA. Really, I still love the Amiga. Sorry. Okay, Stuart. Look, I'm with you here. Oh, hang on, I've lost you. Sometimes this thing jumps too quick. Where's it gone? Oh God, I hate it the way it jumps. Stuart, right. Question: I can't afford both boards, so how long will the Amiga be available to buy afterwards? This is a tricky one because, A, it's not my day job. B, I'm the only one who's supplying the ITX versions of the Amiga and the Mystics. It wasn't me actually. It said that actually. To be fair, it was Edu that said I'm the only one. You know, he wants me to take care of it. I'll just buy them from him, and it's easy for him. I don't see that I'll stop selling them, but if there's no demand and I run out, you know, we'll wait till demand comes back. It's hard to say. I mean, definitely next year. You better get it sometime next year. I can send you my config to your Amiga. Yeah, David, just send it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, just tell me which setting to do, and I'll do it. I mean, Christ, I could actually. Hang on. We'll boot it up, shall we? In fact, you can actually see it. Don't look, it's a PC. But what you don't notice is, you might be able to see it actually, but that's in my one of my plus cases. This is the one with the water cooling and everything. Here, don't look. We'll have a go at this while we're doing this. Right, let me go for some more questions. I mean, yes, Dave, by all means, send it to me. I had a lot of problems with Windows 10 until I did a reinstall recently. Okay, yeah, right. So, as you can see, nice window, nice display, but I'm going to load up AmiKit. Okay, so what did you say it was? Right, David, what did you say it was? Right, display, settings. Okay, I can't see anything that says lagless, unless it's under these. No. Right, David, you need to put that in there, and I'll come back to it in a minute. But there's nothing on there that says about. You've got it saying it's display. Now I'm looking. Remember, I'm looking at WinUE. Display settings when you press F12. Well, I'm obviously on it, so I can see it. But there's nothing in there about lagless. Lagless VSync. You're gonna have to give me some more info on that. Right, let's move on. Yeah, okay. Question I can send you. Yeah, done that. Yeah, a lot of problems with Windows. Yeah, okay. On Amiga, it just works. Have A500 one Amiga. Okay, right. So look, Christ, 1961. He's got an Amiga. The original. I assume it's the original one. There's a new one, which has got twice the gates, which is why it does RTG. But the original one was grey anyway, so is black and white still split down the middle? No, that's really weird. On the Plus, up until the very end, remember when I said to people there will be no more after this next 200 nubs? I mean, to be honest, I'm still going to be making for a while, because, you know, they kind of, when this thing, I announced the Mini, it went like that, it fell off a cliff, so I've probably still got a couple of hundred I'm going to sell. But it all the way through the Kickstart, and I've sold 1,000 so far, and it was pretty much straight down the middle. Interestingly, the last couple of months, it's gone more to the white. But on the Mini, it's 60% black, 40% white, which is strange. So that's, you know. But a lot of people may change. It may change because people haven't chosen the multiple colours one, so that may change. Nothing better than beige hardware. No, it's not beige. It's oyster white. I'll have you know. But that was chosen by a poll of a lot. In fact, it was an awful lot of people. A couple of hundred people were involved on that. I have owned various models. I'm a full Microsoft Libraries developer, but have always come back to me. Yeah, I mean, I developed Windows internet software based on .NET, which like using Amigas. And as I've always said, I'm more of a hardware guy. Now for those Kickstarters, how do they pledge today and additionally decide what system board they want to include in the package? Right, all you got to do right now with the Kickstarter is pick your case. Don't worry about the boards. That's coming later. Okay, just if you want a case and you want to, because If you're not on the list, you ain't getting one for a long time, because there won't be another batch until at least August, September time. So if you want one, get on the Kickstarter. That is kind of important. Yeah, so the extras come late. It's exactly the same as last time. As soon as the Kickstarter's finished, I import everything, I get in touch with everyone, and then you get the chance to go in and start. I've already pre-populated some of the stuff for you, but then you'll be able to go in and just say what you want. Let's just have something in the background, shall we? Hopefully there's some kind of video stuff going on. I might change that if it's boring, because it looks boring at the moment. Why is it not doing anything? Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like it's not beige. Well, yeah, I suppose it is, but it's oyster white, and it just looks really nice. Beige PC. Hi Paul. Say hello to Paul, everyone. He did an awful lot of graphic, all the 3D renderings Paul did. Okay, next to native and RTG, in the drop down menus, next to native. Oh, okay. Next to native and RTG. Oh. Okay. Yeah, but which do I select? Lagless VSync. Okay. Ah, crap. This better not work, because I'm going to be really depressed. Better not work. Oh, that's a rubbish demo. Demons. Yeah, my favourite demo. Right. Well, it's crashed. Oh no, here it goes. It'll be interesting to see how fast it runs. That's really slow. That is running really slow. Right, let's go back up here. Right, question from Gravy. From Graham. I'm wanting the full Pi version plus keyboard. I'm sorry if I missed this in the previous streams you did. What are the display options you can select when running the Pi? Well, it's a Pi can run. I tend to say put it in 1080p. If you do it, this is terrible, by the way. 1920 by 1080p is the best mode, and then the Amiga just it's set up. Amiga XE set up to work really well in that mode. So have it in 1080p. This is just not working very well. I don't know why. Oh god. Well, it's crashed. So yeah. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, not responding. Can you see this, by the way? Close the program. Cancel. Right, we'll try that again. Right, David. What settings? Which one? Because there's two lagless. Lagless beam race 50. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Actually, no. Let's. Okay, turned it off for RTG because you don't need it. Okay, sorry. So if I missed the previous streams, what was? Yeah, just stick it into 1080p. that's the best mode to run it in. The Windows XE is set up to really run nicely in that mode, so I'd recommend that. Will the Amiga have a disk activity light? Yeah, it doesn't at the moment. It's not working. I have moaned at Edu, and he was surprised, but it doesn't work. He's going to fix it. It works perfectly on the Mystics. It will work because there's a thing on it, HD LED. It will work. Okay, it will. Trust me. It's just that mine don't. Demos. What have we got in here? Have we got anything that's... I don't know if I've actually got anything that's really smooth. Oh, hang on. C-bit. This better not work. I'm going to be really annoyed if this works well. Oh. Okay, let's have a look. It is okay. It is smoother, but the music's playing at stupid speed. But it is better. Yeah. It is better. Looks crap, but it is better. But that could just be it needs scaling. Because one of the great things is another thing. Yeah, bored with that. I'm not interested. Right. One of the other things about and I could probably try the different mode and for that. One of the great things with the Mystics, the Mister, is it's got this fantastic scaling functionality, and it makes everything look amazing. So actually, if you're running like PAL games, and if you some people will hate this. Absolutely, some people hate it, but it's got this kind of bicubic scaling, and it kind of smooths it all out. It looks. I think it looks great. The low resolution on the big displays. Some people hate it, okay. Some people like the the scan lines, but I think it looks fantastic. So let me try a different one in here. See if I've got. I don't know if I've got. Have I got DOS? Demons are forever. Okay, well this would be a good check because it played the music really fast, and that could be just a setting. That music's just it still looks rubbish. You can see it's smooth, but can you hear the music's playing about twice the speed? So, and it looks rubbish. I mean the text scrolling on the bottom, you can tell it's smooth, but it's kind of missing. It's rubbish. Let's be fair. Let's change that mode. I think I already tried that. Beam raised. What's the 4? Right. We get it again. What was I saying? It's rubbish. No, it's horrible. No, don't like it at all. No, I'm fine, thanks. I'm quite happy with FPGA. The funny thing is that, as I always say, that is a 1080 GTX 1080 with an i7 quad core 8 threads, and my 1000's smoother. Can play the demos way better. So. Right, let's get back onto these because I'm being distracted. Will the Amiga have disk? Yeah, I've answered the disk activity. I've got to get back to work. Oh, bye. Sorry. Have you considered adopting Appy's version of the PAL board? Yes, but there's not anything wrong with this one, and I can make them quite economically. Appy was always I'm not. It's not. He's got some stuff on there, but this does everything I think we need. And it was always a case of he just built a handful of them kind of thing, and it's nothing against Appy. It was just the fact that this worked. Rob's one works great. It does exactly what I want, and I'm really pleased with it. If Appy can solve the soft power, then I'll speak to Appy and we'll discuss that. Maybe it's worth us to speak to him anyway about it, to be fair, because I know Rob's really busy. Chris 1961, when will we have to choose the options? As I said, the sooner the better. Well, the options will go up there in a month, 2 months, something like that. Then in an ideal world, well, the first ones I'll tell everyone at once. They'll all get an email. You'll all get an email saying everything's up there. Go in, book. Now it's the same as before. If you pay straight away, you get your place in the queue. Yeah. If you want to wait and pay later, you're just holding back. You're just going further down the queue. And that's the way it is. It's not done by your position in the Kickstarter, because you haven't paid anything until the very end. And I've always done it to incentivise people to give me the info, because I still got a number of people who haven't filled in their bloody delivery address. So that's done. As soon as that's done, paid, etc., you'll get your place in the queue. So when I start shipping, I literally go by invoice numbers. I have so many real Amigas. Guess I would lean towards Mystics. Yeah, do you know what? If you've got a lot of Amigas, I mean, do you necessarily need one or get the emulator? The Pi, because you're getting such crazy speed. And if you've got your existing Amigas, why not go for that? But again, it's difficult. Question: does the case come with the ATX? But no. No cases you buy nowadays come with a power supply, and that's for tons of reasons. Firstly, if you build a power peak, well, this is more to the big case, but if you put a really powerful discrete graphics card in it, you need a really powerful power supply, and of course I'd be supplying the low power one. So the answer is no, but you know, it will be an option to add on. And I know it means adding cost, but go and find a case that's got a power supply in it. I'll be very surprised these days. Oh, okay, someone's already answered that. And it has to be SFX, must be SFX, because what will happen is, if you do like I did, I saw a power supply and it had, I think it said SATX or something. And I ordered it because it was really cheap. I'll get that one. And it was a bloody great big ATX. And it's still in the loft. Goldfish. FPGA best feature is it doesn't require bloody Linux or Windows. Okay. If it's an Amiga, no Linux, no Windows, no nothing. If it's Mystics, it has a very, very small Linux core. And that handles the USB, the networking, and the core manipulation, reading the drives and that kind of thing. It's very basic and it boots like that. But it's still, Mystics does have Linux on it. Now I don't mind that. I think it's fantastic because it means I can network into it, because it's got Linux. You can network into it. But that's the thing I like about the other thing I like about the Amiga. There's a bootloader. It's a bootloader, and it loads the core onto the FPGA, and then it's an Amiga. It is brilliant. I think you need to set native to lagless. I think it's dead. Yeah, it's died. Oh, go away. I can't be bothered with it. Right. The doc demo convinced me to buy an Amiga in 1988. Now the really funny thing is, right, I bought mine in 1987 and I bought 1000. No, I tell a lie, I bought an Amiga 500 and it was the Juggler that sold it to me, and a couple of others like Kanankas. Okay, and in fact, I think New Tech 10 might come out later actually. I bought 500, but then the guy I bought it for, who knew I wanted a 1000, sold me his A1000, and that was used by a developer, and I bought that like 6 months after I bought my 500. Then I SCSI networked them together so I could share a big hard drive, and I loved it. But my 500 got sacrificed to the original Checkmate 1500, but I kept the 1000. So the 1000 is just the best Amiga ever. But you look seriously, these FPGA boards are the first time I've seen a non-Amiga run dock the way I like it to run, which is like that, which is smooth. Yeah, none of them else can do it. That's why I like FPGA, and both of them work great. Let's have a native. To which lagless? Yeah, okay, David. I think you set native to lagless VSync beam raced. Yeah, no, I did, and it crashed, and it was rubbish. But there's a number next to it, drop down with it. It's set default to 4. What does that mean? I don't know. So, but it didn't work very well. All I had was the sound was just racing ahead, and it still looked crap. Yes, it was actually moving it smoothly, but it was because of the monitor and because of the size, and it just looked rubbish. It didn't look as good. That looks great. So I'm still not convinced, thankfully. Do we have to preface questions with question? Well, I read it, didn't I? So I guess not. It just makes life easy. But I'm reading every single question. Ham. Oh, don't do that. Stop doing that. Oh, do you know what? This jumping business is really annoying. Is this FPGA? Sadly, my Amiga is boxed. My Apollo 1040 card seems to be broken. Video single. Okay. What I'm showing over, these two computers there, they've both got FPGA. Will the original full-size case be open sourced when the case is sold out? Well, no, you can. It's not. I'm not open sourcing it. But if you want the designs, you can have them. But trust me, to make a one-off case will cost a fortune. You could 3D print the front panel, and you can have the designs now. I give anyone who asks for it, I give the designs to them. But having the designs and making it at a reasonable price is a different thing entirely. To make a prototype costs you £1,000. It's not worth it. Unless you're a fabricator. If you work for a fabrication company, as long as you don't try taking my design and making them and selling them. If you're a fabricator, I have no problem with you getting my designs, printing the front panels to 3D print them. Okay, if you pick your 3D printer right, you can get good quality. And if you want to make them, I haven't got a problem with that. It will still probably cost you more than buying a case. But yeah, I see what you're saying. But I'm not open sourcing it, but I'll let people have it. It was really for people to be able to make bits inside. Let's try again, shall we? Demon. Let's try that again. Right, what we got here? Let's have a look. No, it's the on. It's possibly the monitor, actually, to be fair, because it could be the panel that's messing it up, because it is kind of running on smoothly. You can't read any of the text, but it's running twice the speed as it should be. I wonder if do you know what? Can't be bothered. Right, gotta go now. Thanks, Graham. See you later. Can't wait for mine to arrive. Spend more time when you resettings. Yes, it's a good point, but I've got FPGA. I don't need to. Oh, R16 815. Great name. Which Amiga do you not own? This is very telling. I'm just going to change this to 25. I know it's horrible. Oh God, it's horrible. No, this is horrible. Right, which of me, this is very telling. Okay, right, hands up. Hands up who thinks AGA is brilliant. Right, what I don't have now. Forget the towers, because I'm not going to tell you the story about the tower I had, because you'll probably string me up. I don't have a 4000 Commodore an Amiga 4000. Because it ain't that good. I was never impressed with it. Now you probably all know I like Dave Haney a lot. His name is inside the case. Him and Jay Miner, the only two names in the case, in the plastics, moulded into the plastics, because I think he's an amazing engineer. But I thought the 4000, being an Amiga 3000 fan, I thought and I've seen the 3000 plus, whatever they called it, because Henri Croas had one in France at Arcos, and so I've seen what that was like. That was really impressive. But the 4000 was just a cut down piece of junk. It just had AAA. It had AGA on it. I wish it had AAA. It was just a PC case. They slung an Amiga into it, and they took out the SCSI, which was the best bit. They took out the flicker fixer, so we had that crap flickering. Okay, it was great for video work. Don't get me wrong. It's still good for video work, and it was good for the video toaster. But trust me, it was bloody 3 years too late. 2 or 3 years earlier, different ball game, right? But no, it was too late. They messed up, so I'm not even interested. Never have been a fan. That's why. But I have had one, and I have used one in the past, and they are good for Scala machines. That's it. Anyone interested in a CCTV? I've got one. Look, can you see mine there? You probably can't actually, because the chair's in the way. Can you see my CCTV sitting there? Yeah, I quite like my CCTV. I had one years ago and I sold it, and it cost me a fortune to buy another one. Just do it for the company. I bought an Atari ST in 1987. So it's nothing wrong with nothing wrong with it at all. I came very close to buying it because I was a Spectrum. No, actually I had a Spectrum first. And then fun enough, because I was running a business, I ended up with an Amstrad PCW 256, which actually, I know people laugh, it's actually a really good little computer, because I just like computers. It was really good. But then I wanted to buy something more powerful. I saw I'd seen the 1000, I just couldn't afford it. There's no way I could afford it. So I went to one of the shows and I saw the Atari ST, and came close to buying one. And I went to the stand, and the guy was demonstrating the 1000, and I was in love, absolutely in love. And he said there's a 500 coming, and I just waited for the 500 and saved up, bought that. And then, as I said, about a few months later on, I bought the 1000, second-hand 1000s, and I still have that to this day. Right, how do you load the Kickstart ROMs on the Amiga? It's just an F12. You press F12, and it pops up. And you can switch them and then just reboot it. It's very simple, but they're just files, and you just put the files on it onto the drive, the SD card, and you select whichever Kickstart you want to use and which HDF file you want to use for the setup. So it's really easy. Yeah, Battle Chess was amazing. Do you remember the fighting? With the porn come on, it was great fun. I loved all that. It all works, but I have 8 meg and SCSI ports. I couldn't tell you, but the CDTV is a great device. I never had a SCSI. I don't even have I've got 8 meg RAM on it. I don't have. I know there's an 060 card that was developed for it. The guys I got my warp from, they've done it. I think be interesting. Question for Pi: would you advise a Pico power supply to buy, or is it a stupid idea, and should I stick to an SFX? No, it's not a stupid idea. I'm looking for something. I mean, I'm actually looking for an SFX power, a Pico power supply. Well, that figures. Okay. I do have 2 Pico power supplies, but here's the thing: they cost the same as the SFX power supplies, right? And they're not as good. So I wouldn't bother. They're very expensive. They're like £35–40 for one, or £45 for the 160 watts. So I don't think they're worth it. Get an SFX power supply. Don't, because you're not saving any money. The Pico power supply is bloody expensive. I bought 2. Yeah. Oh, Cammy's back. Bit like the TIE Falcon rubbish system. No, you can't say that about the Falcon. It's the one Atari they actually made which was good. It's still a rubbish operating system, but it was, the hardware was good. You can't diss the Falcon. No. Right, Jan, a CDTV is the only Amiga missing in my collection. Yeah, they're really. I paid £400 for mine. I got it with, as I said, I got rid of one years ago, but I've got everything with it. The only thing I haven't got is a black monitor, but I've got everything else with it, and it's really, really cool. I play with it quite a lot, but I just don't get time now. Kimmy, CDTV A3000, A4000 missing for mine. Oh, the only CDTV's a nice one. The 3000. Yeah, you come on, Cammy. You gotta get a 3000. Don't worry about that silly 4000. Get a 3000. You've got a 1200. Why do you need a 4000? You've got a 1200. I've seen it, right? And it's just as good. It's accelerated. It's just as good. Get yourself a 3000 before they cost £1 million. Do you have to own the 2000, 2500, 1500 and the HD version to consider having all the models? No, not unless you're Trevor. If you're Trevor, you have to have every single one, and you have to have with the different with the accelerator configurations. I've seen the rack. He has them all the 2000s, all different versions, an 020 version, an 030 version, an 040 version. He's got them all. It's crazy, man. Sorry about that. Just kicked it. Yeah, I mean, I have a 2. Okay, let's go through it. I've got a 1000, which is my pride and joy. I've got a 500. I've got a 600. I've got a 1200. I've got a CDTV. I've got a 2000, and I've got my pride and absolute second pride and joy is my 3000. But in my 3000, I've got a video toaster in a PAL land. I had to buy a load of NTSC kit to make it work. But that is a fantastic system. I don't have room. Now I have a checkmate case. Yeah, they are quite big, aren't they? They're lush. They are quite big. That's why the Mini is so cool, right? It's just really nice size. It really is a nice size. But that's why I did all these Mini ITX boards, because you have to have something to put in them. I'm sure you can use a sheet of aluminium too if you wanted to, but I found ABS-C's 12. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. If you want the designs, you want to make one, by all means, I've got no problem with that. Even the Mini. If you go into production and manufacture them and try and undercut me, you may find yourself having a few problems. But if you want to build one yourself, or you want to do customize the designs, no problem at all. Just send me an email. I'll send you the designs. Yeah, the 1200. Yeah, I mean, look, I've got 12, but it sits down there. I never use it. I never use the 1200. I upgraded it. I've got an 030 in there. I've got a 600 with an 020 on it, which is quite nice. I've got standard 3000. I've got my 2000's got a Vampire in it. My 500's in my case. You can't see probably. You can't see there, but it's in my white plus case with a warp board. But I don't get to use them, so I'd probably end up once I've done these cases, and if I kind of scale down again, I'm probably just going to end up doing videos with my 3000 and 1000. Just go back to doing what I like doing, unless I get another project comes up. But 3000 is silly, man. I paid £150 for my 3000 with the keyboard. You can't buy a keyboard for that now. It's stupid money. from the well-known sin of putting my 600 in a proper Amiga tower. It's fine, doesn't bother me. I did towers myself. Right. Okay. So, has anyone got any other questions? Because it'd be nice to go and spend maybe a little bit. Oh look, it's gone up. It might even tip over 56,000 in a minute. 55,918. It's kind of curious about how much it's going to go. I really don't know yet. Is there anything you want me to? Anything you want to see? Do you want to see the new board? The new Mister. It's still green, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's turned out. That might. I wonder if that's actually the battery that's going to go now. No, it's still there. Right, just briefly. Here is the. Let me tell you what I'm going to do, just so you can see it. Shove that up there. This is the new Mystics. Oh, hang on. I bet. Hang on. Right. This is the new Mystics board. Anyone's come with black piece? You know, apparently it's going to cost a bit more money, and we're trying to keep the cost down. You know, I don't want to put the price up anymore. And Edu, I said to Edu about making this a black board. I thought it'd be really nice. Or a different colour, because I'm not a big fan of the green, but it was the cost. It may be I end up biting the bullet and just pay extra. I don't know yet. But again, this is the new version, but this one doesn't work, unfortunately. But can you see it's now got the hole for the fan to go on it? I think it's a 40mm fan. But so you can put a heatsink. That's not got a heatsink on there, but you can put a heatsink on the FPGA chip, and then you can have your fans on it. So on that connector board, and you can see it's got. Ignore that; it's going to have a proper plug that plugs into it. So again, this is a prototype. But you can see it's got 4 USBs at the back, and there's a header. I don't know if you can see the point. No, you can't see the pointer, can you? Right, there's a header here which you can plug in to give you 2 more USBs, either externally mounted, internally mounted, or at the front. You know. So there are 7 USB ports because the game port takes does take a port. Anyway, let's go back to the Amiga. Oh no, don't switch that. Right, so what else have we got? Yeah, green is okay, but black is awesome. Would pay a little more. Well, the problem is, the problem with that is that everyone would pay a little bit more for the bit they want, and I've pretty much included. This has already gone up in price. If you was to get the extra boards for the Mister and put them all together without the D10, it's a lot cheaper than the Mystics board. And it's getting expensive because it's small production and it's a big board and there's 2 boards on it. It's not a cheap thing to make. So it's already getting expensive. So to then do the card, it may happen, but I don't know. I can't stand the green. I don't like it at all. But we'll see about that. But you know, but look, the Amiga's black. Oh look, I haven't shared it across. Look, God, I didn't share it. Yeah, it's trouble. I've got it in studio mode at the moment. Switch that back. Right. Okay, there you go. So the Amiga's black, but at the moment the Mystics is green, but that may change. But the trouble is, it might push the price, and I have to make money out of this board. Otherwise, I cannot do it. I'm not making a lot, but I have to do. No, that's true, Mario. Yeah, I mean, it's true, but you know it's green in there, don't you? Okay, so AMNDK34. I've got a standalone Mister and the Mystics both set up, and the Amiga, and I've got the old Amiga, and I'm getting the new Amiga and I'm getting the standard Amiga. I need my head sorting out. But I can only do that because I make these cases. I make profit from the cases. I can buy these bits. I can see what's good for people. So that's just the way it is. So I'm very lucky. If you can afford to buy both, personally, if you can afford to buy both, why not buy buy both? I mean, buy the Mister. The Mystics. I mean, it is bloody awesome, but again, it's just that the Amiga, it's cheaper. It just feels right. I mean, I can only say it feels right. And a lot of people have got Amigas already, so they can tell you. They not necessarily everyone's got the RTG. Very few people have got RTG running on Amiga. So if you look at one of my videos, you'll see the Amiga running RTG. But they can tell you, there's plenty of reviews about how good the Amiga is as normal Amiga modes and how. But that was the slow one. That ran under the speed of a 3000. The new one is 2.2 times, so it's nearly 3 times faster than the original one, and it's got RTG. So, is the Mini about 30 centimeters width? I will measure it. I think it's 31. No. It's 34 millimeters. 34 millimeters wide. Top secret video question: what's your day job? Write computer software. It's really boring. Does my edit, but it pays the bills. And as I say, I've worked from home doing it for about 10, 12 years. But I don't earn enough to make a fortune. But I earn too much to quit it easily. If that makes sense? And so the cases are my hobby, and I do them in the evenings and the weekends when Alfie's in bed. So it makes extra money. That's why I'm only doing it if I make money. I'm not trying to make a fortune. But if it makes money, then I'll carry on doing it. Because that's not fair on my family, otherwise. My wife's happy because, all the bills paid, everything's. She hasn't got to go to work. That's one of the things that's obviously true. Because of the cases, she hasn't had, with Alfie, she hasn't had to go to work. I come home late from work and switch on YouTube to follow streams about retro Amiga computing and 3D printing, so no time left to play Pinball Dreams. Yeah, I play pinball a lot. Alfie likes Marble Madness. He's crazy for Marble Madness at the moment. He won't play it, but he wants to watch me play. You need to have it all to test and recommend to us. Yeah. No, that's true, yeah. That's what I tell the wife. Mystics is standalone. Does it support floppy drive? No, that's a very good question. The answer I think is no. But I did get. I've got this thing called a Grease Weasel. You might not be able to see it, Grease Weasel, which I haven't tried yet. Apparently, it might work with, because it's a USB interface. It might work, and there is talk about floppy drives on the Mister, and we're making that user port that I think it's going to use. So it's going to have that user port on it. So in theory, if it happens, but there's a lot of debate about it. Most people think it's a stupid idea. I think it's kind of cool, but that's about all really. What's the Mystics offer over a Vampire standalone? Oh, otherwise, what's the Mystics offer over a Vampire standalone? Right. A shit ton of cores. Look. First of all, I've got a Vampire. I've got a Vampire V2. I love the Vampire. It's an amazing bit of technology, right? And I love it. The standalone was too bloody expensive for my mind. I mean, it just was. Although having said that, the Mystics is, but actually the Mystics without the software is like 350, 360, so it's still quite a bit cheaper than the Vampire standalone. Right. The only thing that the Mystics lacks compared to the Vampire is speed. The Vampire is probably 10 times faster. Yeah, about 10 times faster. The RTG is a bit quick. I wouldn't say the RTG is a lot quicker actually. But having that 080 processor FPGA, I mean, it's just really fast. The RTG, I'm not 100% sure the RTG is going to be that much quicker on the Vampire standalone. I'm sure it will be, because obviously the processor's faster, but the RTG on the Mystics is actually really snappy. So my gut feeling is there's probably not an awful lot in it, and I'll get in trouble for saying that. But the performance on the Vampire's through the roof. Now, on the other hand, if you've got a Vampire, you've got a Vampire. Atari Amiga, that's it. If you buy the Mystics, the Mister, you've got 50 computer cores, you've got a 486 PC, you've got an Atari, you've got all the computers on the list. I mean, I own an Archimedes, original Archimedes, but you have an Archimedes core that runs really well, okay? And you've got all the arcade cores, you've got all of the consoles that are coming onto it. You've got the Neo Geo, and it runs great. So personally, I'd take the Mystics over the Vampire any day of the week. I'd sacrifice that massive performance, because I'll use the words of Alexei, the guy who developed the whole Mister system. What's the point of all that performance? You're not going to use the professional applications. The only thing you're really going to use it for is demos, high-speed demos, and the Vampire will kill all the others. Well, apart from the Pi is 5 times faster than the Vampire, so for 30 quid. But I mean, I don't get me wrong, I do like the Vampire, but since RTG came out, it's a game changer on the 2 cheaper FPGA boards, because they got their RTG. Really is a game changer. And the Amiga is only 250 quid with the full official operating systems. Don't forget that, it's very important. But it's got that, and it's got a pretty nice little RTG system. So, And the other thing is that the Mystics will run with a couple of tweaks. I've forgotten what the tweaks are. There's a couple of tweaks, but it will run Coffin OS. So it won't run the Vampire specific software, but it will run everything else. And it's actually really snappy. It surprised me. And I know that I'm talking to Jan with an AmiKit to maybe get that working on it. So, that's the difference between the two. Is the Vampire's light years ahead in performance of the processor. But, everything else, if you're playing games, if you're playing the main demos, you know what? I think the other two are just as good. The V4 can't run the demos without glitching. Well, the problem is, and again, it's there. I'm going to get in trouble again. I've told them this, and some people will know I'm an AROS fan. I am a massive AROS fan. I put lots of money into AROS, but you cannot sell an Amiga compatible system without the Amiga operating system, and that's why all my cards. That's why I bought 100 licenses of it all. You'll get a license. You're going to get the DVD pack when you buy one of the. Every single complete system will get a DVD pack. Whether you use DVDs or not, I don't care. You get a proper pack. So you've got all your license. You're completely official. Everything will run. That's the way it works. That's how I'm doing it. The other thing, of course, is on the Mystics, and to a degree the Amiga. Not as good on the Amiga, but on the Mystics, the scaling stuff is just like, it's crazy good. It really is good on HDMI. You can forget your CRT. Just stick it on an HDMI, get it set up right. It's bloody amazing. I can't say it's better than getting a scan scaler. It's just built in, and it's just amazing. I love it. Am I missing stuff? Let's Mystic Standalone. Are you doing any special case badges? Okay. There's a new Checkmate badge, but he's basically, I've just took the plus off. Nothing fancy. I'm not saying I'm doing anything special I'm not doing a mini, because I have to. It's stock control. So I've just taken the plus off, and now it just say Checkmate 1500, and it's slightly smaller, just so it looks better, because I think the other ones we're a little bit on the big side, so I'm making about 20% smaller, but nothing more than that at the moment. Maybe later. Look, in an ideal world, I'd like it to say Amiga 1500 or 3000. I'm sorry, but I just would, but I can't do that, so not yet. Anyway, I did watch some of the video, but can't decide. I'm mixed between the raw Amiga feel and the Mystics supporting more cores. I'm aiming for both of me. Right. This is aimed at AMD K34. If you can afford the Mystics, buy the Mystics. Seriously, because I love the Amiga. I really do. But for the extra £150, you got a shit ton of cores, right? And I'm sure we'll probably work a way so if you want it to, it'll boot straight into Minimig, right? The RTG's faster, the processor's faster. It's not huge, it's 30% faster than Amiga. But the RTG is nice, snappy, 16-bit or 24-bit colour. It's really nice. It's better than the Amiga. But you've got all them cores, and you've got easy networking. If you're thinking, and you can afford both, get the Mystics. Seriously. If you want that absolute pain in the arse, but it really feels like an Amiga. Trust me, you'll curse me if you buy the Amiga. If you're not prepared for the pain in the arse of taking it out and setting it up on the thing and bringing it over, or setting up the serial networking, right? You're gonna want to kill me. But if you do like that, it's the business. It's really the business. Yeah. I wish you'd stop doing that. I told you to go away. Go away. Dumbass. God, bloody thing. Stupid Windows machines. Yeah, I would. If you're toying between the two and you can afford the Mystics, buy the Mystics. You will be pleased with it. The only thing you won't have is, unless you set it to boot straight into it, it will break the. It's a bit like virtual reality with a bit of a glitch in the glasses. It will break the illusion it's a real Amiga. That's the only thing I would say. And obviously USB keyboard and mouse. If you get a wireless mouse, I'll give you a little story. My little boy, he loves Marble Madness, right? He absolutely loves it. But I always play on the Amiga. I never play it on the Mystics because I've got one of these Wi-Fi mice, and if you use that, the lag is rubbish. You can't play it. So if I plug a cabled USB one, it's a lot better. But I've kind of got it in my head that it's less laggy with the PS2, which it would be. It's direct, and it's a direct keyboard. It's a direct mouse connection. So it's just right, okay? You've got your two joy ports. It's just wonderful. But if you like the idea of more cores, don't even think about getting an Amiga. Get a Mystics. I do waffle on, don't I? Is the Ireland event happening online? Is it too late to join? Are you going? No, I'm not going to be part of it, I'm afraid. I didn't go to the last one, and it's not because I haven't got time. I only found out yesterday it was there, so I haven't really got time for that. It would have been nice. It can be done was on the original replay. Then your best bet is Mystics if you can afford the premium. Yes, if you want the cores, if all you want is an Amiga to be just like an Amiga, the Amiga is brilliant. But if you want the option to be able to run all the other cores, the Mystics is the nuts. Really, I've got two. I've got two on Amigas, haven't I? In fact, I'm going to have four on Amigas. Don't tell the wife. But yeah, I've got the Mister here, which is just the original Mister, and I've got my Mystics. It is all round. It's the best. If you're going for FPGA, it's just brilliant. It's brilliant. Try and set it up so it boots straight in. I'm going to obviously try and do it so you boot straight into Amiga by default, because then it won't break the illusion of it being an Amiga until you press F12, obviously. Having it boot into the Mister screen and selecting an Amiga, it's not the same. I know it's weird. Look, the stickers have always been included in the box. I don't put it on the case because you might not want it on the case. I mean, it's designed. You can print yourself Amiga 3000. People have done that. Amiga 3000 badge, just stuck it on there. I'm not complaining. I think it looks cool. What Mario? What the Mystics offer versus Vampire standalone compatibility V4SA is glitchy as hell. Right, the only look. Here's a simple solution with the Vampire. Put an Amiga operating system on it. Flash an Amiga kit. I would suggest probably the Hyperion one, but flash an Amiga operating system, Kickstart ROM on it, and boot with an Amiga operating system. You know, and then you won't have a problem. And I am an AWOS fan, you know, and I love what they're doing, but it should have been an option. I can understand them doing it, but you know, it's. I think it was a mistake, and I told them it was a mistake, and that's my opinion. 50, yeah, look, the Mister's got like 50, yeah, I mean, look, it's even got old Russian computers on there. It's just brilliant. To be fair, the Amiga's going to have about 4 or 5 cores. Just so you're aware, there's going to be the Amiga Mini-Mig core, there's a Commodore 64 core, there's apparently a Spectrum Next core, there's an MSX core, and there's another core, and I think they will do more cores over time, but they can't do the really advanced stuff, you know. But I'm selling it as an Amiga. You need a video scaler on Vampires. You do not need that on the Mystics. That's the whole amazing thing about it. The setup on it is just truly amazing. This is one of the reasons why Linux is helpful. They've got this scaling nailed. It scales, you tell it it's complex. You tell it what resolution you want the display to be, and then it scales into that display. But then you can put all these filters on it, so you can smooth it. And I use this thing called bicubic. Or is it bicubic or bilinear? Can't remember which. But it makes them look amazing. Absolutely amazing. The best you'll ever see. Now, you may hate it because it's smoothing the square pixels, right? But I love it. I absolutely love it. So you can forget your scalers. You don't need a scaler with it, that's for sure. The the important thing with the Mister project is there's so many people involved in it, so many, and they're gonna have a PS1 soon. There's a 486 on it that runs at 33 megahertz. It's like a 486 33DX. No FPU, but I tell you what, with the cache, amazing. I know you don't want to run it, but Windows 95 runs really good. Apparently Windows 98 runs well as well. The Neo Geo core is blinding, but you need 128 mega RAM. My pack for $399 has a 32 mega RAM SD RAM. You need the 128, so you need to order the upgrade. I'm literally charging the difference in the price between the two parts, but for the Neo Geo you need that. V4, oh god. Oh god, I keep losing my place because it jumps. I can't. There are alternative cores for the Amiga. You're never going to get as many ever. You're never going to get as many as the Mister. Because the team doing it is smaller. Now, that's not to say others aren't going to get involved, but important to understand the Amiga has 55,000 gates and the Mystics has 110,000, so it's got twice the size. You'll never get a Neo Geo core on the Amiga, sorry. If that's what you're thinking outside of just an Amiga, buy the Mystics. It's not rocket science, just buy the Mystics. Not great, but I found the image from the Mister is sharp as video stays digital the whole way. It is beautiful. It is out of the two of them, because the Amiga does have some filtering to smooth it, and it is a nice picture. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice picture, but it just can't compete because it's only VGA, which will run on most monitors. But it's not as sharp, or there's not the adjustment you get with the Mister. The Mister's just amazing, absolutely amazing. I do have an A1200 and well, you've got it. Well, what do you want anything else for? Not a gripe, but I found the image on the Mister is sharper. Yeah, absolutely. I've already done that one, haven't I? But the Mister ones are already working really well. Yeah, look, the Mister is fantastic. I'm not sure I'd want to be without the Mister, actually, to be fair. but I just like the Amiga because it's the rawness. Mr. Runs Payback. I don't even know. I tried to find it. I couldn't find it. I have two 500s. Michael, I have two 500s, an A1000, a 2030, missed, an Amiga, Mister, and waiting for a vampire chip. I'll be building a plus case up this weekend. I consider FPGA easier than all the RTG cards. Yeah, look, it's great. That's why, to me, the RTG on these two cards was a game changer for me. I went, no, I'm going to fund the development and sharing the cost of the development of the ITX boards with Edu. And so, you know, it was, and Edu's genius. I hope he's not listening. I hope he's not watching, because I don't want to, I don't want to sound like I'm sucking up. I'll be surprised if you can get Mister up to 2560 by 1520, but if you can, wow, because the scaling's amazing. What's the airflow like in the Mini compared to the Plus? It's very good. It's exactly the same. So you have the big vent at the front, bloody great 120mm vent at the base, 350mm fans at the back. You've got tons of ventilation, but you can't put a discrete graphics card. It has to be one on the chip. So I've got a Ryzen 3400G with a water cooling unit, and it works beautifully. Okay, absolutely beautifully. Never gets above 60-65 degrees ever, no matter how much I cane it. So I never have a problem with that at all. So it's fine. Just, you can't put a discrete GPU in it. You just can't. Fantastic performance on Mister, and even basic mini-mig with AGA and the lower end FPGA setup. Amiga does it. Does it do AGA? Yes. The Amiga does AGA. Yeah, it does it lovely. In fact, that's what's running there. On this screen, that's AGA. That's the AGA version. Joe Tyson, can you create a wiki page on how to set up serial IP? Right, there's a video being done. There's a whole web page on the subject. Okay, complete web page already done. It's out there. I will make that available to people later. But it's already out there. Something that YouTube will not let me change it. My name is Anders. Okay, cool. You convinced me. I'm back in 2 cases, but I think now I will get the Mister and consider what to put in the second. Yeah, look, if you want to run other cores, forget the Amiga. I can only say that, right? Be truthful, because it's, you're saving a little bit. Don't do it to save money. Don't buy the Amiga to save money. Buy the Amiga because you want that bloody hardcore Amiga FPGA, and it is just an Amiga. That's all you're buying it for, and you're going to be pleased with it. You will be pleased with it. If you're thinking, I want to run another core, don't even bother, because you will be disappointed in the long run. The Mister will wipe the floor with it. It runs so much. You should see the Neo Geo on it. In fact, actually, I'll put a Neo Geo on it just to so you can see. Right, going to put Metal Slug. Hang on. Going to run. There you go. Right, that's now running Metal Slug, Neo Geo. Bloody amazing. And if you could actually see this with the scaling, it's a little bit bright, isn't it? Can't do much about that. It is a little bit bright. Can I improve that? I've got no lights pointing at it. Yeah, you'll have to take my word for it. It's just amazing. So if you're interested in other cores, you've got to get the Mystics. Just get the Mystics. Can you connect disk drive to the Amiga? No. Simple, wasn't it? Very simple. You can't, no. Matthew, RTG on Mister may go out to, yeah, maybe. But I'm not worried about that. 1080p would do me. I run it at 1280 by 720. It's fine. No disk drive for an Amiga and you don't need it. WHD loads just fantastic. Yeah, absolutely right. It's like having 1200 faster with more memory period faster. Yeah, you've nailed it. I mean, it literally is. It's like it's a 50-60 megahertz 1200 with RTG. I mean, it's just wonderful. No, do you want me to show you some internet running? I can't because I haven't even set my. I'm not even interested, to be fair. It's not something I do. I mean, I set the Amiga up by taking it out and putting it into WinUEE, and the Mystics I just connect via FTP. It's apparently the Mystics you can set Amiga networking up. I haven't done it. I probably won't bother, but apparently you can. I don't know how good it is, but apparently it's reasonable. The one thing that is really good is you can set up a shared drive, and it's just a folder in the structure, in the Amiga structure, called shared, but you can mount it as a drive on the Amiga, so when you drop stuff into it from your other machines, it just appears in that folder. It's brilliant. It is the best way of doing it. Yeah, I may not today. I haven't got it running, so I can't show you the internet. So don't buy it if you think it's for internet. Don't buy either of these for internet. If you want internet, look, buy that. It's got all the internet you need. Boot last exact core Mister. It's too bad we can have a more modern video output on the Amiga. No, VGAs. Right, okay. It's very important, Joe. Do you understand how much the licensing costs for HDMI? There's no way Edu's ever going to do HDMI. The only reason the Mister project has... What am I holding up? The only reason the Mister's got HDMI is because Intel paid for it. And they put HDMI on the D10 Nano. That's the only reason it's got HDMI. There's no way that a little project like this could afford to put HDMI on it. You're just not going to get it. And forgive me, I'm looking at myself there for some reason. I don't know. You're never going to get it. It's just unfair. All the modern monitors usually have a VGA input, so it is frustrating, but that's the way it is. Don't tell the wife. I nearly choked on my beer. Yeah. You set Mister to boot last core like an Amiga. Yeah, probably can. Yeah. I mean, I've not set it up for that because I'm always videoing it and stuff like that. Which is, oh god, I wish it wouldn't do that. Which is best for AGA games? It's a good question. I don't know. I would have thought they're both perfect. It's both mini-mig. It's mini-mig on both of them. I can't see why. Well, the Mystics is about 30% faster, CPU wise. Yeah, 25 to 30% faster. I wonder if the battery's gone this time. Yeah, okay, I've just got to swap out the battery, as you can see on the screen. Don't worry, I will be back in a second. Now this is because the bloody power lead didn't work. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I would expect. Look, most AGA games, look, it's twice the speed of a 1200 with an accelerator in there, so it's going to be fast, both of them. But of course, there's about 25% more performance in the Mystics, so it will obviously help. But other than that, I would think there's not much in it. I've not noticed anything with the games I've played. You don't notice the difference, but I don't play, for example, a Doom or anything like that. There, you've heard there's a floppy adapter for the Mist. I've heard that too. It may happen. If you are used to RetroArch, Mister has a lot of similar filters. Yeah, I'm sure it has. I love the filters. It's just fantastic. Amiga will have similar cores to Mist. Yes, it is. It's Mini-Mig. It's the same core, and it's the latest one with RTG. APU, Amiga does AGA and RT. Yeah, you answered the questions for me. Are you going to get the new Amiga 500 from Retro Games? do you think? Yeah. Yeah, they better not call it a 1500. No. Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, but I'm going to be curious if they're going to FPGA or I think they'll ARM processor it, emulate it. And if it's a mini, no, if it's a mini, I won't buy it. Absolutely not. If it's a full proper keyboard, I'll probably buy one just because it'd be cool. But I'm pretty much, I'm more expensive, a lot more expensive. But I like to think my offerings, how do I say better? I'd like to think my offerings more in depth. I mean, it's a metal case. It's just like the real thing, but you're paying for it, and it's FPGA. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see what look when they start shipping out. People will talk about them. Hopefully, we'll sell more and get more successful. If I was allowed to use the Amiga name, which I'm in discussions with Mike, but there is still these legal problems we're trying to resolve. If they resolve all that, then I may be able to use the Amiga name. But we'll cross that bridge. I've got my own brand anyway. Oh, okay. If you are any chance for fitting kit, well, that's the point. It will come in a case. Oh, if it's a mini, yeah. I mean, I've got no problem. I mean, I'm going to do fitting kits for lots of things. I'm going to do one for the standalone. The Vampire standalone. Yeah, definitely get the 128. If you're thinking of getting Neo Geo, you have to have the 128 because it won't run. That's got 128. If I run it on this one here, it's only got 32 meg one on it, and it doesn't work. I cheaped out because I thought, why am I wanted to, because of the way I was doing things. I wanted to be able to program this and copy it over, but so I only bought 32. But that one's got 128, and you can see. I mean, look at it. It's amazing. Yeah, the CRT output from the I/O board. Yeah, I mean even the VGA output. I mean, look, I will say, right? It's got the Mystics has got the VGA output, but the best one is the output from the once you understand how to do the settings of the video output and you get like the lag-free bit sorted out. It's perfect on a good HDMI monitor. You do not need a VGA output. You do not even need to worry about that. Just do it for an HDMI monitor. It's bloody amazing. If the new mini Amiga needs to be FPGA, I won't be interested. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, because you want just pie, you know. Do you take bounceable checks as payment? No. No, actually, I like your style though. What's a check? I've never received a check for a long time. Third RAM upgrade, yeah. No, I mean, I do think that if you want performance, it's not worth mucking about. This is cheap. Get that, put that in your case, you'll be happy, right? If you want it to feel really authentic and you don't mind sacrificing the performance, these FPGA boards are stunning. And then it's a case of, do you want to get the cheaper version, which really feels like an Amiga, really does, but it has some, not issues is the wrong word. It has some things that are, a little bit of a pain in the ass. If you want to update it, put software on it, you got to take the drive out, put it in on a thing, shove it in, mount. You can mount it when you'll get the software, so you run that on your machine, your PC or whatever, and you'll be able to update your disk, mount it, update it, and so on, and put it back into the Amiga. So the Amiga becomes almost like a standalone system. It's not as necessarily easy to use. Okay. But once you've got software on there, it's fantastic, yeah. Getting data off it, but if you get serial networking going, yeah, it will help. You'll FTP off to your other machines and so on. And if you want to run D-Paint, it's brilliant for D-Paint, Brilliance, P-Paint, all those software. It's brilliant. The Mystics is more advanced, faster, better RTG, and has all them other cores, but it's £150 more. What's that box you keep picking up? What's that box you keep picking up? Say this is great. You don't mean this one, do you? That's the Pi. It's the Pi. It's not a box. It's just a mounting frame for the Pi to make it work in Mini ITX. It's the cheapest option. So basically, the Pi is the fastest by a factor, and it's £149. The Amiga is £249. Is nice. The Mystics is $399, whatever, or $429 if you have the 128 megabyte card. But they all come with the operating systems, everything. You get everything you need. Not the case, not the power supply, nor the keyboard and mouse. It's not cheap, is it? What's that silver bit? Oh, this. Let's turn it around. It's called the Ice Tower. It's a massive, great heat sink for the Pi, and it's got a fan on it. It's really nice. Keeps the temperatures down. Right, question: is there any news on the Keycaps keyboard? Well, the Keycaps are done. I mean, they're a done deal. Unfortunately, they're ANSI keycaps, not ISO. And if you don't know what it means, you won't care. But if you do know what it means a big return key, and a lot of people like the big return key. I've tried. I can't get a good manufacturer to do a good set of keycaps with the ISO. It's unfortunate. But the keycaps, if you can accept ANSI, they're lovely, and you can put them on any Cherry compatible keyboard. I will also be doing a Cherry keyboard, which with the keycaps is going to be 90 quid, and but it uses clone Cherry keys, switches, and it's really nice. I mean, I really like it. It's got their cherry red clones. Okay. So that's it there. I hope you can see that. But the best bit about it, if I bring this to here, and then if you listen, it's nice. Proper switches. It's really nice. So they'll be there, but they're not keycaps you can put in an Amiga. People ask me all the time. No, you can't. Why so big a heatsink? Why not? It's just cool. You don't need it. If you really want to push it and overclock it, yeah, it's worth it, and it really is, because you can really push this. But you can get to 2.1 gigahertz without any problems, and it will run nicely. But I don't bother. Actually, I run it at 1750, and I leave the GPU standard. I just have that on there because it glows red, and the CPU never get hot. Yeah, Pi's are £30. Well, it's £35 actually, but it is a £35 computer. Overkill. Yeah, really, it is a bit, but it's still cool. Metal Slug. Okay, right. Have you seen the low profile Ice Tower? No, I haven't. I have one, and it's fantastic too. I have no real preference, but might make handling. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've got to decide what I'm doing on that for them. Is there any header for adding fans and LED lights? Yes, yeah. On both of them, they've both got. Oh, I don't know. All the boards have a fan header, at least one. The two FPGA boards have power and hard drive LED connectors. They also have power switch. The Pi has a power LED. It's simple to wire that up. Has power switch. Remember, it's very important. It's a hard power switch, so you have to shut it down first, then press the power button. That's really important. It's not a soft button. Maybe one day we'll be able to do a soft button, but not without working with the OS. It is a pain, I know, and fair enough, I get it, but it's not going on the board. You see, that's the trouble. I'm hoping we'll resolve that issue, but not at the moment. And it does glow. Yeah, it looks bloody awesome. It does glow. In fact, it changes colour as well. Yeah, so the Mystics of the Amiga, they're my two favourites. I mean, I do like this, don't get me wrong. I spent a lot of time working with Dimitri to make it make it work really nice. And it is, if you want, well, let's put it this way. If you want to play games, right, or the old demos, the FPGA boards are brilliant. If you actually want to use the Amiga seriously and actually do some stuff on it, programming, or you want to do anything that's serious, and you're not getting it for games, to get the Pi, because the performance of this thing is ridiculous and the Amiga just flies. And I showed in my video, I've got a video showing it all working, and you can use the, I know people hate me saying this, but it's true. If you want to do, if you're on a hardcore Amiga session, you want to use Lightwave or whatever programs you wanted to use, and you want to play some music in the background, just load up the Linux music player, click it, load music, it plays, uses no Amiga processing, goes into the background, you're now running the Amiga again, full speed, not affected in the slightest. So I think it's really cool. Question: do you think calling the new case Checkmate 1500 Mini makes some simple minds think they are pledging a mini system like the C64 Mini, and therefore not pledging without further investigation? To be honest, I don't really want them as customers, because if they're going to think that, they're no use to me, because they'll be disappointed down the road. I'd rather not have them anyway. I called it the Mini because it's Mini ITX. Funny enough, Mike, because Neil, when he did the video, he called it the Amiga Mini. Oh God, I got in so much trouble. And he actually changed it slightly, but and I said, well, hang on a second, Mike, what are you saying? There's an Amiga Mini coming out. But anyway, so that, I got in trouble for that, but not nasty, just, you know, you can't do that. Anyway, that core would make a great DOS gaming machine. Yes. Oh, do you want to see the DOS? Nah, you don't want to see the DOS. Cami, yes. The 486 core is amazing. I mean, it really is. On the Mystics, it's just brilliant. It will obviously do Doom, it'll do Quake, and it'll do all kinds of stuff. It's got 800. I did it in 800 by 600, anything up to 800 by 600, 16-bit color. And it's 33, it's a DX33 basically, and it's really good, and they've got caching on it now and everything, so it is really impressive. Is it crazy that I'm getting Checkmate cases even though I don't care about running an Amiga or specifically? I just love that. No, not crazy at all. I've actually had a lot of people saying, can I put an Atari ST in one of your cases? They just like, look at the case. And no one, to my knowledge, has done it. But no, it's not. No, not at all. I mean, it's nice having a retro looking case. I mean, look, I'm biased. They are bloody well made. All right. But if you read all the comments about it, everyone says the same thing. They're solid steel, powder coated. The front plastics look amazing. I know I'm biased, and but I wouldn't say this if I couldn't back it up with all the comments. You're buying a seriously heavy, chunky piece of kit, but I think it's worth. Well, you have to decide if it's worth the money. In an ideal world, if I was selling thousands, there'd be £100. I just can't do it. But they're only £159 if you don't want the fancy packaging, the colour manual, and everything. I got the price down that way. I did just that with the full-size case, so I'd say no. So it's probably, I hope not, as my Plus is like this. The Plus is a great case. I mean, as I said, I've got my water-cooled PC in there with my 1080. That was my VR machine, but I now got one of these Quests. But it's still a PC. I don't use it that much now, but so I've got another 1500 plus white one with my Amiga 500 and my Warp in it. So you know, and I've got 4 minis. So I'm different because I make the bloody things. I have to test all these out. But yeah. Here's an interesting question. Right, R16815, which I forgot your name now. Will LGR be doing a review? So, he's buying a case. he's backed the case. He's backed the Kickstarter. I actually sent him the last one for free, And I was pleased he did the review, but the fact that he called the way he described it, the lid as janky. Not, I don't have a problem with him saying it, but the fact that he did, all the comments just went really negative, and it killed the future of that case, because it was designed that way specifically because it was so flexible with those rear panels. I had no option. It just had to clunk as it came back because I couldn't change that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that flexibility at the back. And it was just a case of donk, donk, and it's off. It's no big deal. But the fact that he called it janky, it rankled some people, most people, and I think I sold probably 4 cases on the back of his review. Neil's review sold tons. Okay, so it's not a criticism of LGR. I gave it to him for a free and open, no problem. But I said to him, would you like me to send you one of the new cases to have a look? I said, I promise it won't be janky this time. But he said he didn't want to do that, and he just ordered one. So he's actually getting one. I'm going to shove some stuff in it, but he's ordered one. So no, that's good. He's actually put his money down. So I think that's positive, very positive, and I'm hoping he's going to, this time it'll go mass market. I'm trying to get it mass market. That's the thing we're trying to do. So we'll see. I expect RMC to review it first. Oh, yes. Neil is getting it first. I'll make sure he gets it first. He bought the first one, but he will be getting the second one for free. Okay, I'm not going to hide that. He did buy the first one, and because I told him about the payments going in, he jumped on first. I didn't freak that. He jumped in instantly before anyone, because I asked him to test it. So he tested the ordering system, so he got invoice number 1. That's why he got that. So it did sound a bit funny. With the Mini, he will get a case for free because he's really earned it. I mean, he's been so good to the project, and I still watch his video. I love the video he did of it. You know, I mean, I really do, and I love the donk. He handled that, I think, better. Again, not a criticism of LGR, but he handled it better. He went boom, boom. Oh, well, look at me. Oh, right, okay. And I think he handled that nicely. You know, it was obviously he did not, because he said to me, "Should I remove the clonk?" I said, "No, he's fine. I haven't got a problem with that clonk. That's life." But he did that very well. So he will be getting a case first. I may even give him one of the prototypes. I don't know yet, but I might actually give him the final prototype, because it's going to change. It's going to get slightly longer, about 1 inch longer, just to give a bit more room for the PC build. But I might give him that one, and because as far as I'm concerned, it'll be finished, and then we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, he's been fantastic. I'm in for a white case. Yeah, the white case is a love. I really like the white case. It just reminds me. Does not know what to do with the extras holes for the possibility. Yeah, no, I know. I see that. Here's the thing. To be fair to him, I only sent him a 1200. No, did I send him the other bits? I think he said no. He said he was going to build a 1200. No, I only sent him the 1200 bits. So he never covered the fact that it does so much more. He didn't cover it, and whereas Neil put all the bits out, showed everything, because I gave him everything, and he put everything out and then explained it all. So he did a better job of explaining to people for it. I had a deal back in the day where the case opened that way. Yeah, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I did a response video to the LGR just to show people the reasons why, and cover them, and then design choices. And I promise you, I would not change. Or if I was going to continue making, I wouldn't change the design. Not. But funny story. You like this? I told bloody Barry, the designer, right? Not design. I designed it, right? But he had to convert to metalwork drawings. Okay, he had to translate them to metalwork drawings. I told him it's really important when that lid comes off, it can't clunk. What happens is about 2 mil. It just overlaps, clunk. Oh, for Christ! So all the prototypes clunk. The finished ones will not. I sent him a video. You idiot! It won't clunk, but they'll just slide off beautifully. Because I have only got one back panel. See, look, Graham, look at that. See, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I've been made up with the fact that what people do with these and the way that people love these cases. I really am amazed. When this project is finished, I have your next Amiga laptop. No, I'm not going to do a laptop. Oh, as for Graham, I love both LGR and RMC's passions for retro. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I watch both of the channels a lot. I will say though, I watched LGR's video of mine once. I couldn't watch it again because it just upset me, the clunk comment, the janky comment. So I've never watched it since. But I watched the Neil's one because I love his sense of humour, and I really do. But then I do watch a ton of LGR stuff. It's just that clunk comment got to me. Yeah. See, a lot of people actually went in for bought the Plus and now on the Mini. So I think they look messy with use. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but there's a lot of space. It depends what you're doing with it. I don't think there are any wrong answers here. They both look great. Niels and Pixel Vixens were both good. Yeah, she did a great video. I mean, it was unfortunate with the business with the ACA 500 Plus because it didn't work, and I swapped hers for my working one on the old board. So the newer ACA Pluses didn't work on the old board. So the new version we did, Edu helped out, and we put a ton of extra ground in. It's not that silly ground plane story, but we just put a ton more ground in, and it seemed to fix it, and all the new ones work on the new board. So this guy does good retro videos. Retro Chenga, yeah, yeah, he does, that's true. Yeah, the joke is, you're right. Once you know it's that like that for a reason, you just donk, and it also tells you when to tip it because you go clonk, drop it down, pull it off. Neil, when he knew how to do it, it is a technique. You slide it, tip, drop, and it comes off beautifully. Via a colleague of mine, how does Kickstart handle payments this time? Credit card or PayPal? No PayPal at all, ever. Hate PayPal. I contacted them originally, and because they told me point blank, because so much money would have been going through it, they would have held the money until I proved I wasn't stealing it. Whereas credit cards, not the money, they just cash the credit cards, and then once it's all done, they got it all, they send me just transfer the entire money in one go. Oh, after they've taken their bit out, obviously. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, the Kickstarter do take 5%, but I don't think that's unreasonable because I think I'm happy with 5%. The credit card companies charge 3%. Well, I pay 3%, but I know they only charge 1%. But yeah, they do take money out of it. But it's a great system, and it's a great, do you want to go to a bank? No, I don't want to go to a bank. It's cheaper than interest on a bank loan that you never know if you're going to sell the products. No, I'm more than happy with it. I may end up regretting never getting the A1500 Plus case. Well, I've still got some, so it's not too late. As I said, once all the plastics are gone, there won't be any more. But people stop buying. I sold 1,000. There's going to be technically about 200 left. So black ones don't seem to do it as much. So you can still get them. There's a few left. Yeah, I have black system. I wanted something different. Is this a total package? You put it together? It depends. You order the Kickstarter is a case. You just get a case. Once you've got the Kickstarter, there'll be a lot of options, including the full build. Each is sure look great. I just like the black look. Yeah, a lot of people like the black look. I prefer the white look, but the black does look good. It does look good, but I really like the oyster white. Yeah, it's possible to buy just the boards, or we need to acquire the checkmate first. That's a good question. So initially the boards will be made available to Kickstarter backers because they're the ones who are funding everything. I don't think it's fair that anyone else gets it, so they'll be the ones to get them first, but after that we'll start. I may even do the Mystics board through a third-party suppliers, so that later on, I don't know yet, but it's probably pointless. I'll probably just ship myself. Yeah, right. 52. Have we? Has anyone? Has it gone up? Oh, it's gone down again. It's hilarious. This. It went. Oh no, it's gone over again. Up, down, up, down, up, down. It's really funny. It literally does this. It's just, you know. Ever since it got to about, it went to 49,000. I thought it was going to go live. I thought it was going to go on my birthday, and then it dropped 2,000. Then it kind of went up and then down, up and down, up and down. It's hilarious to watch. 21 hours to go. Look at that. I think it'll. I'm hoping it will get over 60,000. We'll have to see. Usually has a spike at the end. Is this a default? You have the slot loader panel there. Slot loader. Can you explain what you right, Chris 1961? What do you mean by the slot loader? Do you need to explain what you mean? No laptop. How about a 3,000 town mini? Not saying anything. Front panel. Yeah, there's I have the DVD, right, the slot. Oh, okay, right. So if you buy the deluxe pack, this is really if you're going to build a PC, to be fair. But you can plug in. I'm going to include the frame and the slot, all the slots on the front panels, except for the Amiga one because you don't need it. But you'll have those, so you can just choose whichever one you want, and you'll have the tray to hold an LG GS40N, whatever it's called. But that only works as SATA DVD drive, so it's only useful if you're going to build a PC into it, unless you can figure out a way of getting from SATA to USB to the Mister board. But yeah, so it's going to be put in there with the deluxe pack. Set it to Euro, Stephen, then it's over 60. No, I want it pounds. Thanks for streaming. Phone is almost dead. Yeah, thanks for thank you. I mean, as I said, this is just really to answer any questions anyone's got. Got money, you got paid to watch it. Well done. There you go. Right, look, there doesn't seem to be any more questions. You've had a couple of hours. So unless you've got some more questions, I'm going to call it a night. But I'm going to. That's weird. Graham, I'm really surprised that you still equate the beige colour to PCs, but all the Amigas were beige. You know, the 3000 was beige, my 1000 was beige, the 2000 was beige, the 500, they're all beige, the 600 1200 were white. But anyway, look, I'm going to go. So hopefully this has been useful. Wish me luck for tomorrow. We'll see how many. Oh. The camera's got bored. Look, hang on, I'll just switch that back on again. The camera's got bored. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. But thanks for joining in, guys. And it was. I think Cammy's gone, but it was nice for Cammy to come in again. She's such a lovely lady, so. Alright guys, well I'm going to go. I will see you. Graham is clearly younger than us. Yeah, it's a bit easier this way, isn't it? Not me trying to demo stuff, just having a chat. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to count down and then I'm going to stop the stream. So thanks for joining in, everyone. Oh, Cammy's still there. Thank you. Yeah, you know, we really should talk at some point. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm sweet. Everybody loves you. Absolutely, everybody loves you. So you need to know that. That wasn't aimed at Jeremy either. And we all love you, Cammy. You're a lovely girl. So and it's lovely, and you. I mean, we don't have enough girls. Pixel Vixen's lovely. Vicky's lovely. You know, and it's lovely to have women around because, well, for obvious reasons. But you know, but it's nice to know that women like the same things we do. I get with motorbikes as well, but anyway, it's lovely to have you around. Right, I'm going to say goodbye and I'm going to kill the stream. Thanks to all of you for joining in. I think we had about 56 to 60, which is a nice number. And once the Kickstart's finished, I will do some more of these so that people to explain everything, you know, the processes and everything. It will be aimed at backers, but you're welcome to join in. Yeah. I can't. It's very hard to say I want more girls anyway. This sounds sounding creepy, but it is nice. I love going to shows when there's women there because it's a whole different, you know, especially when they're interested in the stuff, and even the ones that turn up with their husbands, sit there doing the knitting. They're great. So they do smell nicer. That is so true. Yeah, they do smell much nicer. Much definitely better than us. All right, okay, I'm going to go. See you later. Thanks for your time. I do appreciate it, and wish me luck that we don't get a lot of people dropping out. See you later. Bye bye.